Make sure you check out our sponsor over at 714 Tickets. They take pride in providing their customers with transparent pricing and excellent service. With 714 Tickets, you don't have to worry about hidden fees or surprises at checkout. The price you see is the price you pay. Plus, their team is dedicated to ensuring that you have the best shopping experience possible. And as a special thank you, they're offering a 10% discount on your purchase as well as entering you in a drawing for a free Halos jersey. Also, 5% cash back on your purchase. Only when you use the promotional code HEATY at checkout. That's HITI, HEATY. Get ready to shop with confidence and discover great deals today over at 714 Tickets.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield podcast with your host, Toddfox, along with
Pre-game James.
Big Game James.
For once, I'm on the podcast and in person.
In the studio?
For the studio and for the Around the League show. We had a good show about all the topics, all the all-star games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, interested to get into what happened. I mean, we were at Saturday's game with the Diamondbacks. We were supposed to see Corbin Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
I got all my Diamondbacks mixed up. I'm learning about them as I go, as everyone else is in America. And don't lie out there. Even folks in Arizona don't know who these players are on this winning ball club. I was hoping to see Carroll this series. He only pitched it on Sunday. But maybe it was fortunate that we didn't get to see him because maybe the Diamondbacks would have swept the Angels this series.
Yeah, and then you had a pitcher that came in, like you said, you wanted to mention before, Henry.
Oh, yeah. So, and thanks to Grillmaster, mentioning, what's his name? Corbin Merrill would be out of the starter on Friday. So Tommy Henry, who was 4-4, from what I read on the pregame show, he was 5. And now he's 4-1 coming in. Now he's 5-1. The start of Saturday was 4-4. But Tommy Henry, I didn't really know much about this guy. They have all these young pitchers coming up. A lot of them made their debut last year, but he got the nod against the Angels on Friday, and it all started off fairly well, and then Canning got in trouble. He gave up the grand slam to Gurriel Jr., who the Diamondbacks got in a trade for Toscar Hernandez, I believe.
Yes.
This offseason, I know a lot of Blue Jays were mad about that trade, Blue Jay fans, but I'll tell you what, that moment with Gurriel Jr. hitting that grand slam, that pretty much sealed the fate of the Angels that night, with the purple hair and all for Gurriel. By the way, Gurriel, the all-star for the Diamondbacks, among others. Shohei Ohtani hit one, and it's funny, we mentioned Angel Stadium, and that's the longest hit there, the 493 one. And I've never seen one hit in that front row in right field where that tunnel is. And supposedly he got it there and a fan caught it. I'm not sure, but because this game was on Apple TV and I don't.
They have all the awesome views, because that's one thing they do have is they have a lot of good camera angles, stuff like that. We'll get in. I got a rant on that, but in this game, like you said, that was a huge ass home run. Our boy Wayne Randazzo was on the call with Dontrelle Willis. And one thing about Dontrelle Willis, I loved him as a pitcher.
Yeah.
No matter what his faults were, no matter how good or bad he was, love that dude. As an announcer, he needs to go away. He's trying to be too hip for a sport that doesn't need you to be hip. Just call the game and have fun doing it, but he's trying to put his own spin. I'll give him credit for that, but it's just a wrong spin. Apple TV is absolute garbage. Their music stinks. Their transitions suck. They're as bad, or if not worse. No, they are worse than Bally's. They don't have the but they have their own kind of music, and they go to stuff that's just irrelevant at certain times where it's like there's games going on. I do like their percentages about who's going to do what, and the strikeout rate, the hit, the percentage, stuff like that. Okay. But in this game, they were trying so hard to will the Angels back into it. And like you mentioned, after Gurriel's home run, it took all the wind out of the sails. And you would think for a team to be down 5-0 in the second inning, yeah, it's bad. It's not ideal. But that's plenty of time to come back, especially against a spot starter. And the Angels, again, were out-coached. Henry was put in this lineup a day before. Why not do the scouting report? They don't do the scouting reports, and it showed. And the Angels were easy outs for a good seventh inning. Other than that Ohtani home run, they were trying to talk the Angels up as far as they could do something, and they couldn't. And this game was over, and you could tell, and it was a nice crowd, and it was very disappointing. Yes, the Diamondbacks are a first-place team, but the Angels should not just be rolling over that early in ball games because they only mustered 2 runs on 4 hits.
That seems to be the theme sometimes when they play the better opponents. They can't match wits with them. Canning did go 6 innings, 3 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, but he did end up striking 9 Diamondbacks out.
Correct.
He kind of settled in later on, hoping that maybe they could give him some run support. Loop came in. He's been fairly well as of late. And then Medeiros came in. That was his major league debut.
Correct.
Friday, so that was good seeing him. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. He did give up a run, but you expect that. Again, Ohtani hit that home run in the 6th inning that finally landed Saturday. His 30th of the year. That became a theme in the series, except Saturday, I think. But
right there, though.
But yeah, leaving 6 on for the Angels. I think the Diamondbacks left. No, Saturday they left 12 on. But
here they left. They went 2 for 5. So you cash in your
7. Okay.
Yeah, you cash in some of those. Angels always seeing some people say, well, only 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position, so you only had 3 opportunities. But see, there's always an O there. There's always there's always a 0, and that's the problem. This team cannot get the big effing hits. And this was a surprise too. How about the shocker of, hey, Rendon's back in the lineup?
Yeah, that was out of nowhere. Friday, what was it? Friday afternoon or Friday? Yeah, when we didn't break it, but we got new word of it.
Yeah,
that came out of nowhere because I was like, okay, they're gonna have Escobar probably out there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know about the status of Drury, and he ended up, being out for the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a back injury, I believe it was?
Yes, yeah. He stiffened up or something like that.
But that's retroactive to June 30th, so he should be back that Friday of first game back against Houston.
Yeah.
So we'll look forward to Drury being there. So Saturday came, and guess what? We had the Halos in the Infield tailgate. Shout out to the people that did show up.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a lot of people, in the crowd, and then
a lot of people got there late, so we had to pass out the shirts.
That is true.
Yeah, because we were starting at 2, and literally a lot of people showed up like around 4, and then we had more people in the stands that were like, "Hey, we bought the tickets," and it's like, "Well, you should have been out there," but we still gave them shirts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the biggest thing that you could take away from the tailgate, and then also coming in to the stadium?
Lines and lines and lines and John Stamos. There's a lot of big line to get in for the bobblehead, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Ohtani and Trout. I mean, it seemed unorganized, like Fernando and Jason were saying. Shout out to Jason, of course, on the grill.
He did really good, yeah.
He did that work. And then Fernando, of course, emceeing the whole trivia giveaway and passing out signed baseballs. The whole crew was here, so that was great to see. It was a great time seeing everyone at the tailgate who showed up, and good time, good spot right underneath the Big A. We got there early enough. By the way, it's free parking until what, 2 p.m.?
2 p.m., yeah.
So that's a good deal.
You can sneak in.
Yeah.
$20.
Yeah, so I saved $20 there. It was a really good deal there. So it was a hot one. Capacity crowd. The offense didn't show up for the Angels, unfortunately. Diamondbacks did enough. It started out with, surprisingly, Anthony Rendon home run, his second. We were at both Rendon's home runs, by the way.
Which is crazy.
So you thought 1-0. Okay, we're good here, right? And then later on, you can't scroll down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, right there.
Was it Kyle Lewis singled and brought home?
Singled on. He brought home Fletcher.
Others. Okay, and Dominic, we have to mention the Fletcher brothers were at the game, or their mom was at the game, and there was a deep dive into the father passing away. I forgot though how many months ago.
It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. But I have to mention that that was a big deal having both of their brothers out there playing, and the mom, Fletcher mom, and the two logos on the uniform. So that was good. Dominic Fletcher singled and brought home Manuel Rivera, who we didn't see much.
Yeah.
And then this fielding error by Rendon really pissed me off. We had a great view of it in section 237. It's the second out. I mean, there's 2 outs. All he has to do is throw to first. He hesitates and looks at second. And then, oh God, I got to get the ball over to first. And Marte can still run, despite being kind of a veteran. And Anthony Rendon throws it over the first baseman's or Renfroe's head at first. And that allowed a run to score to make it 2-1. And that's when I knew things were going to go wrong. McCarthy tripled home Moreno for the Diamondbacks' third run, and that was pretty much the ball game. And then that was pretty much it scoring wise. They Diamondbacks did well. The pitching did well there.
Yeah, we'll look at the Diamondbacks here. The pitching, you want to check it out right here?
Oh yeah, Ryan Nelson, that was his name. He got his 5th win, 7 1/3 innings. He had a great pitch count.
84.
I didn't know if you know. Yeah, he was consistent every inning. It was like 9 or 10 pitches, and then that 7th inning was only, I think, 5 or 6 pitches. 5 pitches. I was so pissed about that.
And here's the thing: I get it, you're throwing strikes, but we've seen this over and over and over. The Angels with Marcus Thames are way too aggressive. It's funny with Paul Sereno. It was swing for the fences, but also be very patient. And they would strike out looking a lot. And with this team, it's like, no, don't let it get too far in the count. Swing, and these guys were popping out, grounding out. He was pitching to contact, really not that dominant, even though he did roll up 6 strikeouts. But he really, like you said, a few pitches here, a few pitches there, and it was back to like it was going to commercial.
Let's show you Shohei Ohtani's home run on Friday night 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. And it was sad because this game went by really quick in a sense.
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, and you look at right here again, the Diamondbacks went 3 for 12. Okay.
Again, they did leave. My brother mentioned, what's that number right there? LOB. Yeah, like they left 12 on base. Oh, it could have been worse. Yeah,
this could have been a lot worse. I mean, they had 9 hits, they had some walks, and you look at what the Angels did: 1 run, 3 hits. I mean, you look at the top 3 guys right here. In 11 at bats, Moniak, Trout, and Ohtani went 0 for 11 with 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. That's pretty goddamn pathetic. And then you go down, Renfroe's doing his normal 0 for 4, and Fletcher's back to not hitting. He's at 0 for 2. And so, again, they went 0 for 5. And, again, you're like, well, Todd, that's not that many chances. But you're still 0 for.
Yeah.
You're 0 for again, leaving 6 guys on base, where if you can get half those in, you win the game.
And for once, you get to start with Tyler Anderson, where he doesn't give up a run.
Yep.
But he's only going 5 innings because of the walks he had and the pitch count.
Yep.
So that really hurt. And then that put pressure on Bachman to come in and relieve him, and he got the loss there.
And here's the thing, and look, Luke pitched good, 2 innings, right? But combine Davinsky and Bachman in 2 innings, and you're like, oh, well, the bullpen gave 3 runs. They lost the game. No, because in the post game, you still had people yelling and saying Bachman should be Nacho night, and it's like, no, dude. I mean, the error you're talking about, one, that they should have charged him, and then the fact that, again, as a team, you know how hard it is to pitch 9 innings and only allow 3 runs to a first place team, let alone a major league team, and the Angels did that. That's on your goddamn offense to do something.
By the way, Rendon, that's his 8th error of the season, and how much are they paying him?
$38 million.
I didn't realize that. Oh.
But when you think about it, bro, in these first 2 games that we've recapped so far, they scored 2 in the first game, 1 in the second game, 3 runs total in 2 games. You're not going to win, bro.
That reminds me of the National League time when they had pitchers hit. and you would win those like shutouts or the 1-0 games, 2-1 games. We're an American League team. We have a damn DH. We have Ohtani and Trout, all these power hitters that can make something happen. Rendon's supposed to be one, but he's not. He's
Renfroe.
He's in the cleanup spot, and he's not a cleanup hitter.
Which I still don't understand. Why he to me shouldn't be batting any closer than sixth.
You know what it is though? His contract, his ego. He's like, no, you will not ever allow me to bat below 4.
It's sad, but you're probably right. I mean, it's the same with Pujols. I mean, Pujols on the decline. You would have liked for him to be down in the 5th and 6th spot like he was with the Dodgers, or even the Dodgers had him at 7. But with the Angels in that contract, they had to bat him 3-4, you know. But then again, like I'm going to say again, it's been a broken record all year for the Angels. I mean, only the Angels, you know, can tell you, okay, yeah, you only score 3 runs in 2 games. You're going to lose those 2 games. Yet they buck the trend against the Dodgers. Hey, we don't. The other team scored only 2 runs back to back and beat us convincingly, shut us out twice. You know, so it's like hold my beer.
I hate that. That's what I was talking about in the other show. The 3 phases. What I always think: offense, defense, and pitching.
Yeah,
man. So nothing's going right other from pretty much the bullpen. Seems like they're doing their job. And in this game, you know, the pitching did enough. But again, no offense. That leads us to Sunday Bloody Sunday.
Uh-oh.
The Diamondbacks are trying to get the sweep of the Angels, and Reed Detmers was going for him, of course, for the Angels. He pitched so well. I mean, there was just one mistake he had against, and we'll get to it, but he got the win. Zach Gallen, despite striking out 12 halos, got the loss.
I thought for sure he was going to sweep us because this is a dude's an all-star.
You have the best pitcher on the staff.
Yeah.
On the last game of the series, it's over. Estevez, who got snubbed for the All-Star game, got his 21st save, 21 out of 21. I don't know how that happened. But the scoring started, of course, with Mike Trout. He hit a fly ball to left center field, and that one hit those plants out there that they have.
The fake palm trees?
Yeah. So that was 1-0. And top of the second, this was the mistake that I was telling you
But this
about.
is the thing that if you looked at our little chat, everyone, you know, Dominique and Courtney were like, boy, we can't have anything nice. You know, we have to give it right back.
A lead.
How many times this year, bro, have we seen the Angels, even if it's 1 run, 3 runs, 4 runs, we cannot shut down the team in the next inning. It never works.
I hate it. I hate it. So Carson Kelly, and this was the middle in pitch that Detmers had, and he was trying to challenge him, but he pitched a middle in. Of course, Detmers the lefty, Kelly the righty, and he got killed. That ball was killed by Kelly in the Diamondbacks bullpen.
Correct.
Bottom of the second, though. Speaking of leads, switching back and forth, Mickey Moniak, play him more. Doesn't matter who's pitching. He had his 9th home run, deep center field drive, but not deep, I should say. But it just kept carrying and carrying. Yep. That's one of those day game home runs that would never go out at night.
No, it'd be a long fly ball.
That center fielder, I think it was Thomas. He kept going back and back, and I'm thinking, wait, that has a chance. Well, anyway, Escobar and Fletcher was on base when that happened. So for once, a 3-run home run.
A response to a response.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a non-Han Solo.
Yeah, that's what you guys mentioned. And then bottom of the 8th, Shohei Ohtani hit a home run, his 30th home run. 31st, excuse me. I'm stuck on Friday. He hit a home run to get some insurance because Estevez kind of made it a little shaky there in the 9th. To make it 5-2, the Angels ended up winning. But it's funny to think because that home run on Sunday that Ohtani hit, it landed in the tunnel of which we were sitting at, and I was just like right near where I would have been sitting on
to catch it
Sunday.
Yes.
So they were saying, "Oh, that's Barry Bonds territory." Every time one is hit out there, that's just amazing to think. And then Detmers, he finally gets a win. He's 2-5. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, just the home run given up.
That ERA's under 4 now.
That's really good. He struck out 9 snakes, so that was really good. Soriano and Webb, who have been pleasant surprises, especially Webb being a spring training invitee. You're expecting absolutely nothing from him, like Davinsky. And Davinsky's kind of getting a little better here as of late, but Webb's been a great surprise. 1 strikeout in his outing. Soriano, they both got holds, and then Estevez, he got a strike. He gave up a hit. There's a little drama there because they brought up, they had the time run up. Carroll did get on. We finally saw him. It was fortunate again that we didn't get to see him play. It was unfortunate, but it was fortunate for the Angels because it would have been a sweep for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So all in all, it's like, man, this game or this series, it was to be expected just because of the way that they came in, where there's no offense, like you mentioned. If the pitching does well enough, they still get burned.
They were struggling.
The Tyler Anderson type of way of doing things, where either gets a no decision or loss, and he shouldn't. And Detmers can fit into that role too. Sandoval, we talked about on Saturday, but again, I don't know if this sounds stupid or not, but if he can have a simulated game, fake an injury or something, maybe it will help. Alex Manoah, and I should have put this in the around the league script, but you heard of him, right? The Toronto Blue Jays pitcher.
He was an all-star last year.
He did so well. He was talking his talk, walking his walk. He's down in the development league. They sent him all the way down there in Florida.
Yeah.
Mind you, they're the Toronto Blue Jays. He gave up like 10 runs in the first 2 innings of his first start down there. They sent him back up to, I think, A-ball, and he did a little better. So I'm wondering for Sandoval, not to the development league or anything like that, but maybe, and I know Catella was saying, do you send him down to get a start at single A, Inland Empire, since they're right here? You throw some simulated games. I know pitchers who have injuries do that. But do you think that would help Sandoval? Because we'll see him in the San Diego series coming up.
It depends on what he does in this game. Again, it's a pitcher's ballpark. He's got to keep the ball down. We need a good start from him. He needs confidence. He's another one of these guys on this team that we have paper thin skin on this team. So any kind of adversity happens, they kind of lose their shit. And so I think that's why the Angels really, really need a good start from him here. And yeah, I would not be opposed to him going down to single A, or double A to get some kind of help and to get some confidence back, and make sure before you send him on that bus ride or plane ride, whatever Artie wants to pay for, tell him that, hey man, this is not a demotion. This is just to help you to work on your skills and everything else like that. Don't think you're not coming back up here type deal. Because I think that's what happens with some of these other players. And we do have a lot of paper skin guys from the Epler era. I think they're more tough skinned here from the Manassian, but he's a guy from that Epler era, and we really got to get him on the same page and get him with a killer instinct, because he does have that dog in him, but he seemed to have lost it of late.
And the reason I mentioned single A just because it's closest.
No, I understand, and he's close to home. He lives out that way.
So I think that would help him. And going to the San Diego series, it feels like, hey, we have to at least take 2 out of 3. The Padres coming in 38 and 46. They're 4th in the NL West.
We need a Rally Chris special.
The Angels, 3rd place, 45 and 41 now. And it seems like both teams are starting to fall, but the Padres, they've been falling ever since. So I live down in Oceanside, and I get to watch the Padres somewhat. And they don't hit in runners in scoring position. All their scores come from home runs or wild pitches.
Same thing with us.
Errors, but it's worse. And they have more of a talented lineup.
Yeah,
it's way worse.
They do.
San Diego's pitching, they have a lot of veterans, it seems like, with Musgrove, Darvish, Snell, and then they have everything else to get to Josh Hader.
Yeah, and we'll get on that in a second. I just want to finish one last thing about the Angels series with the Astros, as I really felt bad that, again, you scored 5 runs, but it was all the long ball. You didn't generate any offense. You didn't move any guys over.
No stolen bases, which the Diamondbacks loved to do.
Yeah, you just don't do that, and you're exposing your team. So again, as much as I like the victory on Sunday, again, you got it all via the long ball. I know Thames is happy, but I didn't like that. And let's go over the starters here. San Diego, LA, the first game would be Jaime Bieira versus Blake Snell. If you want to read off Jaime's numbers right here, the 2023.
Yeah, he's 2-3 with a 2.92 ERA, 40 strikeouts.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah, but this is the extended version.
Yeah.
42 hits given up, 49 and 1/3 innings pitched. 5 games started. I think he had, 17 appearances overall.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of a spot start for him because Shohei was moved to Tuesday.
Correct.
Going in the future.
Here's his last few right here.
He's given up 7 home runs. Bieira has. He got the loss on last Wednesday against the White Sox. He only went 3 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs. You kind of knew the game was done after his spot start here.
Correct.
You saw him against Kansas City come in because of the days off they had ahead against the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. So he came in, he pitched a great 3 innings. When you look at that, they were able to get a win in that series
and
because
saved all
of
those
that.
Tired bullpen arms.
That's true, especially from the Saturday game in Kansas City, which they were taxed. And poor Griffin Canning not getting that win. Blake Snell, he's been great as of late for San Diego. His record, 4-7, 3.21 ERA.
Whoa. Where are we on that?
114 strikeouts.
Sorry, I wanted to give that music. I don't know where the hell that came from. Sorry.
Ads and John Stamos.
Exactly.
Blake Snell, no, he's been pitching great as of late. The wins won't reflect it because of the the run support isn't there for Blake Snell, but he's been awesome as of late. Looking at his
last few starts.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh, he got the loss, but that's because the Padres couldn't get him any runs.
Yeah.
You see, the last 3 starts for Snell, all 6 innings, all 3 hits or less.
But look at this right here, dude.
2 runs or less, 1 home run or less given up.
The strikeouts.
3 walks or less, and then the strikeouts are 10 or more.
Yeah.
So Snell has been awesome, and that's home and away too.
45 strikeouts in his last 4 starts.
That's quick math. So Snell, he's going to be a tough task for the Angels offense.
That's a tough one tonight.
The Angels don't even, they don't hit themselves, so it's going to be really tough tonight. And I forget it's tonight. By the way, Bieira against the Padre hitters. Bogarts is 2 for 4. Cronenworth 0 for 1. Nelson Cruz, we've seen him before.
Oh yeah, I think I know that guy.
He's hitting 444, but he has pinch hit or designate hitter roles. Machado's 2 for 4.
Angels fans are way too familiar with Nelson Cruz.
He used to kill.
I know that, dude.
Rangers, Mariners. He was a beast. Machado's 2 for 4. Oder, who we know of, hitting 154, and Gary Sanchez, who is their starting catcher now. I remember we had the talk about, who are we going to play so happy with? Well, Sanchez went from the Mets minor league
to Twins, right?
Yeah. No.
Mets minor league.
Yeah, and then he just ended up walking there, and he's on the Padres now as their starter, and he's been hitting well as of late. Against Bieira, 250. Snell against the Angel hitters, Escobar only hitting 153, Fletcher 200. Ohtani is hitting 667 against Snell in 3 at-bats, so that's probably 2 for 3. Rendon 333, Renfroe 0 for 4.
Of course.
I'm sorry, Rengifo 0 for 4. Trout 200. Velasquez, who cares? 0 for 2. Wallach 0 for 1. So, excuse me, looking at the next game, you got
Shohei
Ohtani starting off against, it would be nice if it was Darvish, but it's Musgrove.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see the pictures with Ohtani and Musgrove, during the series. Looking at Shohei this year, 7-3 record, 16 starts, 95 innings and 1/3 innings pitched, 61 hits, 33 runs given up, 12 home runs, 39 walks. That's been his biggest issue.
Yeah.
And then the strikeouts have been there.
Oh yeah, strikeouts have been there because like he 156 for 2021. I think he's going to top that obviously, and he'll probably top 219 for the year. He's been striking out a bunch. If you look at his last few starts right here, with the exception of the win he got against Texas, he's been the same thing as Snell: 10 strikeouts, 12 strikeouts. Very consistent. Had a good start, loss against the Dodgers, should have won. But 1 run allowed there. In his last 4 starts, he's only allowed 7 runs.
So going against or going for the Padres will be Joe Musgrove. He's 6-2 with a 3.80 ERA, 61 strikeouts. He missed a couple of games or starts because I think a weight fell on his toe. There was something like that.
A lot of toes getting hurt.
But yeah, still 6-2, 12 starts, 66 third innings pitched, 68 hits given up, 28 earned runs. The walks and the strikeout ratio is really good there. 61 strikeouts, 16 walks, 7 home runs given up. So he's just getting through the season. He's kind of behind everyone.
3.80 ERA. Here's these 3 starts.
He also went 6 innings. So one thing about these Padres, they will go long in their starts.
Correct.
It's not like the Angels where they go 4.5, 5 Suarez start. But the last start at Pittsburgh, in which they got the Padres swept them, or the Pirates swept them. Last start was Thursday, and Musgrove went 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs. 1 walk and 6 strikeouts.
It's not a bad start. I mean, he put his team in that. To me, that's a quality start, even though he got a no decision. That's not bad.
Yeah, and then Musgrove really hasn't faced many of these
tough teams,
Angels hitters. Escobar 250, Moustakas 400, Rendon hitting 500, Rendon 286, Trout 143, but that was only like the the interleague matchups. Mm-hmm. And they're looking at Ohtani against the Padre hitters.
Okay.
Bogarts is 167. Matt Carpenter, who he's having a really bad year. He's hitting way under 200. Mm-hmm. He's hitting 102. Cruz is 0 for 2 against Shohei, so that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Oder and Sanchez are also 0 fors. So that's a little more encouraging than the Snell start for the Angel hitters there.
The Wednesday game is the game to look at because this is a crucial start here for our boy Sandy.
Yeah, 4-7, 4.57 ERA. Definitely not what he was projected to be. 80 innings pitched.
You know what sticks out to me, bro? Check out the earned runs this year compared to the rest of his career that he's already having now, and the hits to innings pitched.
That shows you if he's not walking the hitters, he's leaving too many in the zone because he's behind in counts.
Yep.
That's what that shows me. Yeah, definitely 65 strikeouts. He's well below that right now, but 32 walks. You want to get that at least 40 or 50 in between.
Yeah.
The home run ball, not as bad, but he's on his way. 42 earned runs, 89 hits given up, like you mentioned. Only a 4-7 record. 16th start coming up. Mm-hmm. Against Sandoval, Bogart's 0 for 3. Cronenworth is 1 for 2. Cruz is 1 for 1. Grisham and Machado are 0 for, so that's a good thing. Oder 1 for 3. Juan Soto 0 for 3 against him. By the way, we mentioned Sandoval, that Thursday afternoon game where you saw in the first inning he was losing his confidence, his mind after giving up runs and walks. Mostly runs and hits, mostly hits against that White Sox series. He only went 5 innings, and it was honestly amazing that he went that long, by the way. He gave up 8 hits, 7 earned runs, no home runs, surprisingly, but 2 walks and 8 strikeouts. Surprisingly, he had 8 strikeouts.
Yes.
But his pitch count was so high against that White Sox lineup. But he did get the loss, and you see the starts before, though. They were a little bit better, but the hits were still there, like you mentioned. Mm-hmm. But the runs, the giving up the runs were still pretty bad. The strikeouts weren't there as much. But yeah, the hits for Sandoval, they have to decline.
The hits just keep on coming.
We don't want to see that.
Not like a bad radio show. But it's tough because, again,
Sports Lounge.
I've seen, yeah, I've seen. Unfortunately, Sandoval does this 2 or 3 times a year, where he'll put up a crooked number for the other team, and you're thinking they're going to lift him, but either Joe Madden or Phil Nevin would be like, "No, you're going to work through this," and he will settle down, and he'll throw you about 100 pitches. But you look at his earned run, like in that game, or the runs that he allowed. Like I remember against Houston, he gave up 6 runs in the second inning, didn't give up anything for the next 4. He wound up pitching 6 innings. Mm-hmm. He did it there at home against Chicago. He did it I think in New York as well, where he got lit up earlier this year in Yankee Stadium, and they kept him in. He wound up pitching 5 in that game too, and he kept him in the game. He settled down. My thing is, why can't you just be like that from the start to finish? You know what I mean? Like, why can't you just have that mode? But he seems to just. Maybe that's the ego too, popping through. Like, man, I'm gonna finish this sucker, dude. I started this thing. I'm gonna give him some innings.
And you mentioned the last 4 starts here. Okay, 3 of them have been 5 innings. The one that's been 7 innings has been the best start for him, where he got the win at Kansas City on that Friday.
But he walked the most.
But he walked 4. He was able to strike out 6.
Yeah.
So right now you're getting a mixed bag with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. You mentioned that with the managers leaving in the pitchers. There's more trust with Phil Nevin, but it'll come back and bite the ERAs and the walks and all the stats of the pitchers.
He's maddening, not to use Joe Madison, because I mean, at times you're like, okay, I like the fact that he did this, and then there's other times where you're watching, you're like, oh, right, we're in a 1-1 tie. Let's bring out Davidson and Loop. It's like, no, let's not do that. We still have a chance to win this.
And then for a pitcher's mindset, like Suarez, there were so many times where he would never go 5.
Yeah, he'd always lift him right before the
4
fifth inning.
2/3, 4 1/3. But that was happening in Sandoval too, especially early in his career.
Yep.
Where in 2021, when you think about that, he could have had a few more wins. But they didn't allow him to continue, and you could tell he was frustrated. But man, that conference that they had at the mound between Thaiss and Sandoval I think it was in that first inning, you could just tell there was some type of
anger
issues going on.
Yes.
Seth Lugo, and surprisingly, the MLB app doesn't have the pitcher, but Seth Lugo is the projected starter
for game
this year. He's the 5th starter. 4th start, I want to say, in the Padres. See, it's funny. They have Darvish, they have Musgrove and Snell, but after that, they have a lot of spot starters that will come on. Mm-hmm. So he has started 11 games, Seth Lugo, so he's 4th in the rotation. He's 3-4, 57 and 2/3 innings, 61 hits, 23 earned runs, 6 home runs given up, 12 walks, but 53 strikeouts.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, for a spot starter, someone you don't really look at in the rotation as a figure. And we remember him, of course, with the Mets, and he didn't do so many starts. When you look at that, he didn't start a game the last 2 years, but he's come to San Diego here, and he's having to start the most
in his career.
Season. Yeah. So maybe he's found a role there. I know when he starts, they usually, they get a split or they lose. So last month when he was starting, they were winning his starts, but not this month.
Not the previous 4.
Thank God that came up, or I would have sounded stupid.
I caught you right before.
That's not the last time that's happened. Stick around for more. He got a no decision last. On Friday when we were at the supermarket at Cincinnati. 6 innings, 5 hits.
Supermarket sweep, by the way.
Yeah, I love that.
Shout out.
1 run given up, and then 6 strikeouts. So he's been good as well. Yeah, I'm really worried about this series, Todd, because of their starting pitching. Mm-hmm. If you can get into their bullpen, but not Hader, the all-star closer.
Yeah.
But Luis Garcia, the former Angel. Nick Martinez, they're kind of shaky in their bullpen.
Oh yeah.
They remember they traded away a lot of players for the lineup they have now.
Yeah, because they were looking just to bash people's heads in with their heavy hitters, but they're not coming through, and that's the problem with the. I'm looking at that advertisement right now.
Yeah, I was going to mention that,
but can we get them as a sponsor? Imagine me. I'll be like, hey man, let me show you off my adult diapers right here.
We're gonna have to go to retirement homes and how do you work YouTube?
Yeah, what's a Fire Stick?
Yeah, how do we get the games?
No, but my thing is with the Padres, that's what scares me too. Now you're making a great point. We got to get to the starting pitching, but then I think about it. We can't get to anybody's starting pitching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're in our own way. We're striking out on stupid pitches. We're not adjusting. So I'm thinking if the Padres just come through here with some like subpar to above subpar pitching, we're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if they're finding their spots and they're working the count, so they're getting us to swing early, we're in a lot of trouble. It may be worse than what we did against the Diamondbacks and against a team that's really struggling this year on all aspects.
So I'm looking at the Padres, you know, their main hitters, the averages, Tatis at 280, Juan Soto 277, Kim at 258. He could be an X factor. Not Bogarts, but Hassan Kim. He comes up clutch. Mm-hmm. For home runs for San Diego, Tatis Jr. with 16, Soto 15, Machado 11. He's kind of having a down year. Kim with 10. That's why he's not an all-star for Machado.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. RBIs, Soto's brought in 46, Tatis 41, Machado 36.
That's their highs?
Yeah. So that's what I was telling you about with their runners in scoring position. They can't drive them in when they get on. And when they get on, it's these lousy singles, you know, lucky doubles, hustle doubles. There was one double, by the way, by Ardura this year where he pulled a hamstring rounding first, and he's still able to limp into second and slide in.
Wow.
He's an absolute gamer. I think John Boy had that video, but looking at their numbers, it's a thing where they had a lot of great talent on their roster, in their lineup, but now they can't get the runs home, and this is the reason why they're stuck in fourth place, 11 games under. Their starting pitching does fairly well, but when they get to the bullpen that isn't Hader, and when they can't hit with runners in scoring position, they're just not going to do well, and that's just the way they are this year. As you can see, they're way down there,
24th.
Yeah, it's they're not what they're advertised. That's for sure.
And see, here's going back to it real quick, and this is another reason too. If you look at the Dodgers too, because Dodgers are 19th. They're not all that great with runners in scoring position or hitting in general as well. A friend of mine that did a podcast with was saying that, hey man, like he's a Dodger fan. He's like, they're not stealing bases, they're not getting hits, or they're not, you know, they're striking out a lot. Their runners in scoring position is down. I'm like, well, you're preaching to the choir. Somehow we're 11th, and it doesn't make a lick of sense.
Second in home runs too.
Yeah,
to Tampa.
It doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, yeah, I don't understand.
I hate looking at stats, but eventually that's just what it is. And when you mention with the Padres, it's amazing. The runners in scoring position. By the way, they're 8 games below. No. Yeah, 8 games below 500.
Yes.
8 games out of the wild card, I want to say. The Angels come in, I believe they're 6? Yeah, 6 back of the division. And then, let's see. Angels are 2 games back of the third wild card. For the Padres, the division's pretty much taken care of for Arizona or LA. Padres are 11.5 back and forth. I don't think I had them winning the division.
Padres are batting .233 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah,
wow.
That's the
Angels are hitting. Let's see, the Dodgers are batting .242, and the Angels are batting .256. That seems too high. It just does. It seems way too high.
It's the Ohtani factor. It's just him.
It's got to be. I don't see how they're one of the because if you look at the averages, the normal averages are between 230, 240, and we're sitting there at 256. There's only a few teams like the Washington Nationals, the Rangers, and the Braves, and the Reds that are hitting, and the Red Sox that are hitting better than us. That doesn't make a lick of sense, bro. Because I tell you, this team really struggles with runner in scoring position. I don't think that makes any sense.
It's been such a weird year for the Padres, and then for the Angels, it's just trying to keep up with everyone despite not scoring themselves.
Yeah,
it's so bad. So I was trying to figure out the series. For me, I'll just say right now for the predictions. As this game Monday, let me give you the times first, actually. So okay. Monday at 6:40. Catch this game also on FS1 for those of you out of Southern California.
Wait, what? Which one is going to be on?
No. Oh yeah, it will be on Bally as well. I hate that theme. By the way, San Diego, they don't have Bally anymore because they couldn't. Bally couldn't pay their bills basically. So.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Sorry.
That's how I feel every time I hear that theme because it's like, oh, Shohei hitting a boom and all that. Now it's in the chat whenever you have the post game show.
Yep.
Hey. Okay, so Bally Sports and then on MLB.TV for the Padres. I mean, that's the only way you can get them here. I mean, outside of the market. And then 3:40 on July 4th. And that's on TBS, actually.
Oh, it's the game of the week?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
On Tuesday. That's a good thing. And, of course, on Bally's.
Oh, Bally's is the next one, right? Usually when they're talking on there,
That's the new B word, by the way, Bally's.
Yeah, Bally's. Usually you just get a lot of this. Because that's what the commentary is on Bally's.
And Wednesday's Getaway Day, 5:40 start in San Diego. That's also on Bally's and MLB.TV. So it's kind of a weird schedule, no 7 o'clock games, no 1 o'clock games because of the holiday on 4th of July, 3:40. Mm-hmm. So
let's get the predictions.
Yeah. For me, Padres do play better at home. And the Angels right now just aren't hitting.
And the first one's Jaime and Snell, right?
Yeah.
So.
I think the Padres take 2 out of 3. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the Angels win the Ohtani start. He shows out.
Okay.
But other from that, I don't trust Sandoval right now. The area is going to tax the bullpen right away on Monday. And that's going to be a theme all series. Other from the Ohtani start, the bullpen is going to get taxed Monday and Wednesday. So I'm going to say 2 out of 3. The Padres win 2 out of 3 in San Diego.
How dare you?
I'm going to go with inner honk on this one.
Go boy.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to honk it up.
I forgot you don't have.
Yeah. I'm going with a honk on this one. I'm thinking, believe it or not, even what we've witnessed, my critique of the goddamn Angels at home against the Diamondbacks, for some reason I have this feeling they're going to go down there and they're going to really put them in a bad way. I think they're going to effectively take them out. So give me a comeback win against Blake Snell. Give me a Shohei Ohtani really good start, him helping himself to another victory. And then it's hard to say it. I'm going for a sweep, baby. Yeah. And we're going to start talking about once we get on a win streak.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
Man,
you kidding me?
I hope you're right, but it's just I don't see it, but I hope.
Sorry, we're going streaking through the quad.
And in San Diego. Come on, everybody.
You have to go F yourself, San Diego.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to tell them right there.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
I'm never going to be allowed back down there. The county limits. It's just amazing, though. This Padres team was supposed to be, like, number one, right up there. One of their players said, it doesn't matter who we play in the World Series, we'll win. Right there. And then they had that crying face of Kershaw, and ever since they've lost all their games against the Dodgers. Five in a row they've lost.
And they've looked pathetic losing them, too.
Again, they bit off more than they can chew. The offseason's going to be a chore because they lost their Bally Sports TV money. And that's very important. They have all these players signed to long-term contracts. The offseason, the regular season's ugly, but the offseason's going to be maybe even uglier.
Oh, yeah.
Not only in Anaheim, but in San Diego, it might be worse. Meanwhile, the Dodgers will probably get Ohtani.
Yeah, they probably will. But I think the Angels need to do this, and if they do this, we're going to sweep.
Like a blind man at an orgy, I was going to have to feel things out.
See, if they feel things out against that pitching, they'll get through that orgy and get that sweep.
I hope you're right.
I don't know. I mean, it's like if I'm right.
Smart thinking.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
See? Oh, we'll all learn something. But if we fail, then you're going to be right.
I'm used to that theme every series.
When you're going to be the one just laughing.
I'm never one to gloat about, especially failure, but it's like, yeah, I kind of knew that was going to happen. Just based on the last 7-8 years, it's like, this no matter who the players are, it's just a stink that's all the odor around the Angels
team,
right now.
Because it's either have a honk.
Starts from the top.
It's either have a honk mentality like AM830, which I'm not claiming to on this prediction. I just have a good feeling about this series going into San Diego. I'm hoping we could take advantage of them. But I know Fernando, he'll likely hit me up with this.
No, you don't like that color. I don't like that color. Not a very good color.
So,
Clones. I love that. I used to watch that show all the damn time. Or, I'm sorry, listen to that show
did too.
down there.
I did too.
In 1090.
But anything else on this, man, besides you calling a Rally Chris reverse special?
Enjoy the ballpark, Angel fans, because
beautiful.
I think that's the best in baseball. There's a lot around the gas lamp if you're going to the game to do before the game. If you get there early enough, the parking's awful. So take transit, Uber. They have a really good system around there.
They do.
And then inside the game, you'll have so much craft beer choices, fish tacos, whatever San Diego food you could think of, it's there. So
try the California burrito.
Yeah, there's it's got to be there. Lolita's at the ballpark before you get in. They have a great California burrito there. There's so many different places to go to. Hell, make a week out of it if you can in San Diego. Go to the zoo, Safari Park up in North County. Hell, visit me in Oceanside. I'll be there.
Or like my dad says, take the train down and then the trolley to the ballpark.
Yeah, it's that simple. If you want to, because the parking there is like so expensive, $40, $60. Yeah. Tailgate's like $100. It's like a Charger game but in Inglewood. Now.
SoFi, yeah.
So it gets really bad parking wise. So if anybody's going, just be aware of all that scams. Mexico's right there too if you want to go. So hey, thanks for having me on, and hopefully they could do what you said and not what I said.
I hope. But right now I'm telling a Grill Master joke. A lot of people are thinking about it like that because I'm predicting a sweep, especially how the Angels have been playing. But you got to play to win the game, right, Herm?
Hello, you play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Thank you. So that's what we're looking for. But thank you for coming down. And again, we did the Around the League show. You're going to want to check that out. We'll have that uploaded in a little bit here, and we'll have this podcast up for you as well. Obviously, you're listening to it now and watching it, and we will be back next after this 3-game set to preview the Dodgers, and then what's to look forward to in the second half, because it will be the All-Star break right after. So for Todd Fox and the one and only
James.
No, that's not your name, bro.
Pre-game James.
No, that's not your name either.
What is mine?
Big Game James.
Oh, that's
that's right. It's on your jersey, bro.
I don't have a jersey with that on. Oh, yeah.
I got you the Clippers one. Yeah, there you go.
An Angel one.
Yeah, you do need an Angel one. We need
number 32 and just put James with the exclamation point.
All right. James! All right, so we'll catch you guys later, and go Angels.